In this video, we're going to look at evaluating a function at specific values. And what we're given is g of x is equal to negative 2 times x squared minus 3. And from that, we want to find the g of 2 and the g of negative x. So in the last video on this topic, what I said was, think of x kind of like just a placeholder. And I called it something a bunch of times. So the g function is really saying the g of something is equal to negative 2 times something squared minus 3. And so all you're doing when you're evaluating the g of 2 and the g of negative x is you're just replacing that x or the something with 2 and negative x. So let's go ahead and look at the first one, g of 2. So the g of 2 is going to be, basically we're just going to put a 2 everywhere we have an x. Negative 2 multiplied by 2 squared minus 3. And so since we have just numbers, we want to go ahead and simplify this. So you definitely want to use your order of operations here, your PEMDAS. We're going to do the exponent first. So the negative 2 stays out front for now. 2 to the second power is going to give us 4 minus 3. Then we can multiply the negative 2 and the 4 to get negative 8 minus 3. And negative 8 minus 3 more is going to give us negative 11. So the g of 2 is negative 11. Or you could think of it as the y value for the x value of 2. So now let's do the same thing. This time it's just going to be negative x instead of x. So the negative x is going to be this something that we're running through this function. So this seems a little bit stranger, because it involves an x, and g has x to start out with. But again, think of g of x equals negative 2x squared minus 3, the x just being a placeholder. So if you think of it that way, it's not quite as strange to plug negative x in the place of x. So we're going to have negative 2 times negative x squared minus 3. And here we have an expression, an algebraic expression, so we want to simplify this as much as we can. So again, we want to follow the order of operations, bring the negative 2 down. Negative x to the second power, anytime a negative number is raised to an even power, it becomes positive. So that's just going to become x squared minus 3. And that's all we can do. So the g of negative x is negative 2x squared minus 3. And that's our final answer.